Hello and welcome. I'm Formless Chef 3, and today we are diving into one of the most enduring urban legends that captivated many kids in the US in the 90s, Bloody Mary. This legend, which has intrigued countless people, involves a ghostly apparition that allegedly appears in a mirror when her name is chanted multiple times. The specifics of the legend vary, but it remains a fascinating part of paranormal folklore. Here's how the legend generally goes. If you stand in a darkened room in front of a mirror and chant Bloody Mary a certain number of times, usually between 3 and 13 or even more, a ghostly figure will appear. This figure is often described as a woman covered in blood with a disfigured face. Growing up, I remember the ritual vividly. I would head to the bathroom, turn off the lights. Since my family wouldn't let me handle matches or a lighter, I couldn't light a candle, so instead, I innovated and used a nightlight. The idea was to stare deeply into the mirror, focus on the thought of Bloody Mary, and chant her name 3 times, clearly and with purpose. Different versions of the ritual exist depending on where you grew up. Some say you need to chant her name 3 times, while others insist on 13 times. There are also variations about the time. Some believe you should have to do this at midnight, while other variations state you should spin in circles while chanting her name. The stories vary about what happens if you're successful. Some say she appears as a beautiful woman, while others describe her as a blood-covered specter who might scratch your face or even attempt to drag you into the mirror to claim your soul. My own experience with the legend was rather uneventful from what I remember. I remember being scared, but overcoming my fear and going through the ritual. Nothing happened from what I can recall. But after reflecting, I do realize that I was slightly more frightened than brave. And I do recall one time I was way too scared to even open my eyes to see if she actually appeared. It's kind of amusing to think about how scared I was. But back then, man, that fear felt so very real, and just the way that kind of fear makes you feel is kind of intoxicating, to be honest. The Bloody Mary legend's popularity can be partly explained by its connection to real historical figures and rituals. Some speculate the legend is based on Queen Mary of England, nicknamed Bloody Mary for her persecution of Protestants. Another theory links the legend to Mary Worth, who some believe was a witch or a victim of violence, though this name seems more tied to a comic strip in 1934 than any historical figure, and after doing research, I couldn't find anybody by the name of Mary Worth, historically speaking, so it is what it is. Mirror gazing rituals have long been a part of folklore. Historically, mirrors were used by young women to glimpse their future husbands or seek other insights. These practices tie into the Bloody Mary legend, making it seem more plausible and intriguing. Psychological factors also play a significant role. The power of suggestion, pareidolia, which is seeing faces in random patterns, and the effects of staring at one's reflection in low light can contribute to eerie experiences. The anticipation of seeing something frightening can make it feel very real, even if it's just the result of our minds playing tricks on us. The Bloody Mary legend thrived particularly in the 90s, becoming a rite of passage at sleepovers and campfires. It was a way for kids to prove their bravery and bond with friends by engaging in something that felt forbidden and thrilling. The ritual's eerie allure was a significant part of why it was so captivating. The internet and social media have further fueled the legend's spread. Online platforms allow people to share their experiences, perpetrating and evolving the story. Additionally, the Bloody Mary legend has been featured in books, films, and TV shows, such as the Candyman series and the TV show Supernatural, keeping the tale alive and introducing it to brand new audiences. The flexibility of the Bloody Mary legend allows it to adapt to various cultural contexts and personal interpretations, which help it remain relevant. Educators and psychologists sometimes use the legend to discuss psychology of fear and the spread of urban legends, further embedding the story in popular culture. Despite its chilling reputation, there is no credible evidence that anyone has been harmed or gone missing as a result of performing the Bloody Mary ritual. It remains a compelling piece of folklore rather than documented reality. In summary, the Bloody Mary's legend's enduring appeal can be attributed to its psychological impact, cultural transmission, historical connections, media influence, and adaptability. These elements combine to create a memorable and captivating story that continues to intrigue and terrify people worldwide.